The concept of nous first emerged in classical philosophy, a term that ancient thinkers sometimes equated with intellect or intelligence. But what exactly did they mean by this mysterious faculty of the mind? This question sets the stage for a journey through centuries of thought, beginning with the earliest philosophers who singled out nous as essential for grasping truth and reality. Parmenides, an early pre-Socratic, already singled out the term nous, though his own works are largely lost to history. This fragmentary legacy raises the question of how his ideas survive to influence later thinkers, especially when the next clear exposition appears centuries later. Around 500 BC, Anaxagoras becomes the first philosopher we can definitively credit with explaining nous as a distinct cosmic mind. His formulation set him apart from later Platonic and Neoplatonic cosmologies, marking a pivotal shift in how the universe's order was understood. Xenophon records that Socrates taught his students a teleological respect for divine order, hinting that even in the Socratic dialogues nous was linked to a higher purpose. This connection foreshadows Plato's later, more elaborate uses of the term. Plato employed nous in everyday Greek ways, yet in the Philebus he lets Socrates proclaim that mind is king of heaven and earth, suggesting a supreme governing role. This bold claim invites us to wonder how Plato reconciled popular language with lofty metaphysics. In the Phaedo, Socrates, on the brink of death, credits his discovery of Anaxagoras' cosmic nous as a turning point, linking the philosopher's own intellectual awakening to the earlier thinker's vision of a mind ordering the cosmos. This moment raises the question of how such ideas shaped Plato's later metaphysics. Plato frequently described the soul in political terms, assigning ruling parts to the rational nous and subordinate parts to appetitive forces. This analogy suggests that the rational, or logistikon, part of the soul should dominate, a theme that reverberates through later Aristotelian thought. Aristotle reports that Hermotimus of Clazomenae held a view similar to Anaxagoras, indicating an early transmission of the nous concept. Yet Aristotle himself refines the idea, distinguishing the intellect of an individual from mere sense perception while still linking it to logos, the uniquely human capacity for reason. Aristotle further divides perception, the animal-like sense of sensible forms versus the intellect's grasp of intelligible forms, a split that underpins his theory of the active intellect turning potential knowledge into actual knowledge, much like light reveals hidden colors. This analogy deepens the mystery of how mind actualizes understanding. Aristotle equates the active nous with the unmoved mover of the universe, suggesting a divine dimension to human intellect. Yet he stops short of claiming personal immortality, noting that this immortal nous lacks individual memories, a subtle balance between divine participation and personal identity. Alexander of Aphrodisias challenges the doctrine of immortality, arguing that the active intellect is not an inner faculty but a divine creator itself. His reinterpretation influences later Islamic philosophers Al-Farabi, Avicenna, Averroes, who adopt and adapt the concept of an external, acquired intellect. In the Gnostic tradition, nous rises to an aeonic status, capable of knowing the ultimate propator and intervening for Sophia, the youngest aeon. This mythic elevation transforms the philosophical mind into a cosmic savior, prompting us to ask how early Christian sects reimagined the ancient Greek nous. Plotinus later sees the nous as an image of God, the first principle of existence, emanating from the one yet remaining distinct. This Neoplatonic vision crowns the mind as the highest activity of life, completing a long philosophical ascent from Anaxagoras' cosmic mind to a divine emanation. Thus, from its humble origins in pre-Socratic thought to its elevation as a divine emanation, the history of nous reveals a persistent curiosity about the limits of human mind. Yet the ultimate question remains, how much of our own intellect is truly our own, and how much is borrowed from the cosmos?